Hello, happy Wednesday. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I'm excited to be live with you. I'm going live a little later today. I took my son skiing this morning. However, we got there and the mountain was closed. So I decided to take a bar class. So here I am a little bit late. Anyways, if you've joined in the past, you know that I answer questions when it comes to anything that has to do with herpes. So living with herpes, dating someone with herpes, dealing with herpes outbreaks, speeding up the recovery of a herpes outbreaks, what it's like to be diagnosed, how to disclose that you have herpes, all sorts of things. So this is your opportunity to ask your questions. As you know that I answer them in order. So if there's as you know, I'll get hundreds of questions. So anyways, I'll answer them in order as they come. Definitely do your best to keep the questions PG or G rated so the app doesn't block them. I see that people block, that questions get blocked. Also, if you have herpes, you know someone that has herpes, you're dating someone with herpes, this is definitely a great location for them to come. It's a great spot for them to come and ask questions and for you to follow. So definitely feel free to share this information. Someone just said, OMG, I have herpes too. I was kind of glad I came across this, super random. Yeah, it's actually not as random as you think. 2 out of 3 people have HSV1 and 1 out of 6 have HSV2. So it's super, super, super common for people to have herpes. It's just we don't talk about it. So that's what is not as common is the communication, the discussion about it. So definitely ask your questions here. Yesterday, I was getting lots of questions when it came to how do I disclose? So the questions started coming in as I needed to run. So how do you disclose? I just found something in my chair. How do you disclose? I like to say disclose when you're ready to expose. So that may be the same day you meet someone. That could be weeks, months later. So don't feel like we have to. I like to use the example. We've all seen the commercial or cartoon of someone trying to lose weight. And it's always a cartoon or a commercial of someone that has the scale that's on the chain and ball. And it's chained to their arm or their leg. And they're dragging the scale everywhere they go. And I feel like that's what happens to us when we're diagnosed with herpes. We bring this with us everywhere we go. And we feel like it's this dark cloud over us and we have to disclose this to everyone and we're not worthy or we're not enough or for some reason we feel like we have to disclose this everywhere we go. With that being said, if you're going to expose the person, then absolutely. If you're going to expose them to that day or that day, then absolutely have the disclosure conversation. A lot of times we'll go on dates, we'll meet people and we'll go, I'm actually really not that into you. I don't plan on taking this to the next level. Why would I have even disclosed? It would have been a moot point at that point. So just wait. If you're ready to be intimate with that person, then that's a great time. Then you can have that conversation about what that looks like to you. Is it monogamous? Is it non-monogamous? Have you been tested? What has your partner been tested? I highly recommend both you and your partner get tested. Oh my gosh, I see all the hearts. Thank you, you guys. Thanks for all the hearts. I appreciate them. I see waves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, definitely talk about that and use this opportunity as more an umbrella conversation to decide how you're going to have this conversation and what do you want out of the relationship. A lot of times people will come into it and be like, well, I don't know. I think we're monogamous, but I don't know. I don't know if my partner's been tested. These are the times to have this conversation. Having herpes a lot of times opens up the opportunity to have these really uncomfortable conversations that most of us don't want to have and don't really have. And that's why we end up with STDs, STIs, is because we don't have these questions. Kind of a myth buster I really want to cover is the thought that condoms are going to protect us. And we're always told in sex ed or friends or whatever, dude, just wrap that up. It's fine. Or just use a condom. You'll be fine. You don't need to really talk about it. Just use a condom. And unfortunately, I cannot speak for other STDs. I am an expert in herpes. Condoms are great if it's a fluid transmission, but herpes is skin to skin. So when we have the condom covering that area, if the person has herpes on other locations in their bodies, like on their butt, on their inner thighs, kind of anywhere in that region, the condom isn't necessarily going to protect the transmission. So that's just something to know about. Condoms are still great. I'm still a big advocate for them, but just don't think that I've always used a condom, so I'll be fine. It doesn't work that way. How can you reduce outbreaks? Some of the things that I like to talk about, there's a couple of ways to reduce outbreaks. Number one, there is a drug. It's called valacyclovir, Valtrex, or acyclovir. You can get it. It's a prescription. So it has to be prescribed to you by your doctor. It is something that lowers the transmission rate by 48%. And it is a prescription. You can take it daily, and that's considered a prophylactic, something to be taken daily to prevent transmission to a partner or to prevent outbreaks, or you can take it just when you have outbreaks. If you're taking it just when you have outbreaks, it doesn't reduce the transmission rate significantly. It would just be to speed up the recovery of that outbreak. So if that's a route you want to go, you can do that route. There's some other routes that we can do. I like to take supplements. I like to take Monolaurin, and I like to take Lysine, and I like to take Andrographis. So these are from Natural Cure Labs. These are the ones that I take that I love. The Monolaurin, I keep forgetting to bring it in here. The Monolaurin one is in my pantry. What I love about these is the founder, his name's Damon. He's put so much tender TLC, so much care into finding the best supplements that are going to be immune boosting and going to help our immune system, specifically people living with herpes, and also the best quality manufacturing. So this company has won many awards. Anyways, so I take the Monolaurin. This is for enveloped viruses specifically. Herpes is an enveloped virus, meaning it has a shell around it, so our immune system cannot penetrate it. So think of like an egg. An egg has a shell, and think our immune system trying to penetrate that egg. Well, what Monolaurin does is it disrupts that outer shell so that our immune system can now go in and fight the herpes virus and other enveloped viruses. So the cold virus is enveloped. Other viruses are enveloped viruses, and so if they're active in our body, that's an opportunity for us to get a herpes outbreak. So I take this daily. Andrographis is also should have been a football player. No, Andrographis is very good with, is supportive with the HSV virus, especially preventing transmission to someone who does not have herpes. So someone who does not have herpes, this is very helpful. There are some medical articles out there about this. And then I take Lysine, which is also, my nose is itchy. I take Lysine, which is also extremely helpful in preventing the replication of the herpes virus. It's a protein that the herpes virus does not like, and it actually helps prevent the replication. So those are the things I take daily. You can also go topical, and also these are all linked in the bio if you want to check them out. Use LWH to get 10% off. I have my box of tricks here. We created some topical lotions and creams and oils to help fight the herpes virus and help speed up recovery and help with wound healing. The products contain lysine in them. So we talked about taking lysine internally. We also can add lysine topical. So we have oils. This is my personal favorite. This is the one that most of you guys prefer. You prefer to just rub it onto the area. This one I liked. Well, I do like this one too. It has a nice little clean tingle feeling. It has eucalyptus and peppermint in it. So, it has like a nice feeling. I also like the way this one smells. This one I don't love the way it smells as much because it has tea tree oil, which is also really good for wound healing for the skin. So these are my favorites, but this is the one that you guys prefer, the Rescue Balm. And then I cannot keep this in stock like the manufacturer. She's like, girl, I have to make another 400. Is the Reviver soap. I use it, my husband uses it, my son uses it. That's just great to keep your body clean, and then especially if you have an outbreak. So we have all sorts of fun things. That was a really long question. let me get back to all these questions. Like, you know, I do my best to answer these in order. So I do have people say like, hey, you're not answering my question, but sometimes the app will like, I don't know, they just don't show me the questions. What does a low index number mean? So when that's an IgG antibody test, it means that the virus is potentially new in your body. Not new, but you just don't get as many outbreaks. Honestly, this is a question I typically shy away from because I'm not a doctor. I can't really answer that medically. But usually it means that you haven't had as many infections. Every time you get an outbreak, you create new antibodies, or like they grow. So again, I'm kind of going to shy away from that question to really truly answer it. I'd recommend going back to your doctor or medical provider to answer that. Can I talk about shedding? So yeah, this is something that's frustrating to us as people that have herpes. Also, thank you for the hearts, you guys. I really appreciate it. I see them. I love seeing the hearts, so thank you. So everything sheds, right? Anything that's living sheds. We shed our hair, our skin. You know, if I were to scratch my skin, it would shed. Viruses shed just like leaves drop from a tree or flowers drop their petals. So the herpes virus, when it's dormant, it's lying in our spinal cord, in our nervous system. And when it decides it wants to be active and it wants to shed its virus, like a snake sheds its skin, it sheds its viral DNA. The viral DNA goes up to the area in which you're infected. So if you have oral herpes, it's going to go to wherever you get your outbreaks orally. If you have genital herpes, it's going to go to wherever you have your outbreaks genitally. At that point in time, the hosts, me, people living with herpes, do not know they're contagious. So there's no itch, scratch, tingle, blister, any of that. And so that's why a lot of times transmissions occur without an outbreak. That's what happened to me. My partner didn't have an outbreak, didn't know he had it, and he must have had viral shedding and was transmitting it at that point. So majority of transmissions occur without outbreaks, 70% to be exact. This is a reason why we have to disclose we have herpes. So a lot of times we're like, I don't know if I need to tell them I'm not having an outbreak. No, you need to disclose you have herpes because of this viral shedding. Thanks for the info. You're welcome. You get so many, you have to take them daily. You have to take the valcyclovir or acyclovir daily. So that's something you can take. You can also take these supplements. Again, I'm not a doctor, so definitely talk to your doctor, but you can take these supplements in cahoots with the antiviral. These are supplements. They're meant to supplement our diet. Monolaurin is lauric acid. We get this from coconuts. We get it from human breast milk. Lysine is an essential amino acid. It's a protein. We get it from foods like fish. We get it from foods like potatoes, dairy, things like that. So we're consuming them. There's just extra foods to consume. I was recently diagnosed a few months ago. I believe the medication I was taking was causing me to have outbreaks, so I stopped taking them. I haven't had outbreaks. Great. That's great. I'm glad that you figured out the solution for you. Nice catch. Yeah, thanks. I was like, football player. Thank you for the follows, you guys. I see that. I appreciate that. Like I said, if you have herpes, you know someone that needs to hear this message, please share this information with them. That's why I'm here. I'm here to educate. I'm here to make it fun. I'm here to show you like I have a normal life. I'm married. I have a little boy. My husband does not have herpes. My son does not have herpes. So it's just, I have a very normal life. I'm not angry. It hasn't destroyed my life. Was I in an area of my life where I call the Eeyore phase, that I had a rain cloud over me 24/7 and like the light bulb wasn't on? Absolutely. But I found a way to get through that. Do they always present a cluster of blisters, or can they look like small paper cuts? They can look like small paper cuts. They could be one blister, a cluster of blister, or a paper cut. You've had it for 7 years. My husband's never gotten it from me. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Do you take antivirals? I do not take the antivirals. I did take them when I was initially diagnosed, but I'm at a point where I don't want to take any prescription drugs. So as little as I can, so I don't take them anymore. I take Valtrex. I haven't had an outbreak in years. Yeah, the prescription drug the antiviral does a really good job of preventing outbreaks. Hey, I'm new here. I have HSV1 and HSV2. I have both. My son does not have it. My husband does not have it. Can you remind me again of what you take to reduce passing it? I take Andrographis, I take Monolaurin, and I take Lysine. So I take these daily. You can get the link in the bio. You can get 10% off. LWH is the promo code. I take these. This is what I take. And your recommendations for one that aren't on the skin, like in the mouth, yeah, or like on your cervix or things like that. It's not as common to have them in your mouth. So those a lot of times can be canker sores. They can be misconstrued. So if you think you have them inside your mouth, definitely ask your doctor to get that swab to confirm if it's a canker or herpes. I would say same things, just take your supplements. It's all immune system based. What's the difference between HSV1 and HSV2? HSV1 is more common. 2 out of 3 people have it. It's more commonly associated with the oral herpes, but just as many people are getting it genitally now as well. HSV2 is sorry, I just was reading an email that came through. HSV2 is 1 of 6 people have it, most commonly in the genital region, but it also can be transmitted orally. Does it cause infertility? It does not. How common is it to be literally one bump? It's extremely common to be asymptomatic. So one blister once in your life is very common. So do you take valcyclovir even if you don't have outbreaks? I do not. Some people do. I personally do not. What do the medications do? So the antiviral, which is a prescription drug basically keeps it dormant in your body, where taking lysine, and these are basically immune system boosters. So lysine keeps it out of replication. Monolaurin allows the body to go in and disrupt the herpes virus so that our immune system can penetrate it, things of that nature. I have herpes. I was able to conceive. Yes, I had a baby. I had a vaginal birth. The medication will help reduce the shedding as well. Yes, that's the prescription drugs, not the supplements. There's not enough data. I mean, it does help, but there's like not enough data, you know. You have herpes, but you're having a dead end time dealing with HPV. We need to spread the awareness on that as well. So for HPV, there is someone you can follow. It is, hold please. I got logged out on my Instagram. I'm logged out. Gosh, what is her name? The Vaginal Wellness Coach? I don't know. She's on Instagram. And it's typically immune system. What are your initial symptoms with herpes outbreak? It's usually swollen lymph nodes, feeling like a flu-like symptom. Then you can feel an itch, a tingle, a burn in the area that you're going to get an outbreak. It could be swelling of the area, and then blisters appear. How many days do you wait to kiss your husband after an outbreak? I usually wait. So the CDC is going to say 7 days. I wait till it's gone, and then I give my husband the option. So if my husband and I have it, we can have kids. Yes, you can have kids. It has nothing to do with it. Are periods normal? My periods are normal. A lot of women will get outbreaks around their periods. Guys, I have to go. I apologize. I wish I could spend more time on here. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for joining me. I will go live again this week, hopefully tomorrow. I am traveling tomorrow, but I will do my best to jump on and go live. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. You guys are all awesome. It's why I'm here is because of you and to answer these questions. Someone on the bottom says, can you show these bottles again? Yeah, it's all linked for you in the bio. You can figure out which ones you want to get. I'm a big fan of them. Like I said, I take them daily. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have an awesome day, and I will see you soon. Bye.